I'm going to actually run back to my office for about 30 seconds, close out of one program real quick, and then I will get started. Um, it's a funny program and it does not always let you log into two different computers at the same time. So I will be back in 2 seconds as soon as I can minimize and get all my stuff back together, and then we'll get started. Sorry, guys. All right, guys. So now that all have closed out of the right programs, we can go ahead and jump in today. So essentially what you guys are here for is KWB Keys to Success. So first and foremost, thank you all for coming in person for this. I do appreciate it. And for those of you online, thank you for being online today. Hey, Sadavia. What we're going to do is we are actually going to go ahead and take a quick look at kwbresources.com, which is going to be our Market Center office resources page. So there's several different things that you guys will have access to as a KW Valentine agent that other agents may not have access to, even other Keller Williams agents. So we want to make sure that you guys know where to find all of these wonderful resources. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump in today. So again, that website is kwbresources.com. For those of you with laptops, you're welcome to go ahead and follow along if that's what matches your learning style. If you'd rather just sit back and watch what I'm doing, you're welcome to do the same. Whatever makes the most sense for you is perfectly fine with me. So when we arrive at kwbresources.com, the first page that I'm actually going to take us to is this new agent tab. And once we're inside of this new agent tab, you'll see that there's several different ways. I'm actually going to minimize this real quick. Sadavia, if you have any questions, feel free to either send them in the chat or you can shout them out. I have overhead speakers on, so I can hear you if you have any questions. So just keep me posted. The same for you guys. Please feel free to raise your hands, ask any questions as we're rolling through. First and foremost, I do talk very fast, so I will try my best to slow down for you guys. But if you miss anything, please do not hesitate to say, hey, could you repeat that? Or if you have any questions, I know myself, I always forget my questions by the end. So feel free to ask them as they're relevant so that you guys can get those answers. So when we do arrive under our new agent tab on this left-hand learn more button, essentially what this does is it just breaks down our onboarding process in a quick overview. So it's showing you what you can expect information-wise to be asked of you, who you can expect to be hearing from, a kind of a rough timeline on when you'd be hearing from each of us. But the real reason that I like to share this with you guys is at the bottom here, since most of us are all the way through our onboarding, congratulations. At the very bottom, we've got some things that we can start doing immediately. The first, obviously, being to get familiarized with our website, which we will do together today. We also have the office training calendar. That's going to be a big component of what we're going to talk about, just so you guys can always be aware of the events and the trainings that are being offered here in the Market Center, so you guys can take full advantage of them so that it can help propel your businesses forward. Joining Ignite is also on this checklist, which I know several of us are all participating in Ignite either in person or after dark. So Ignite really just kind of highlights obviously a very strong foundation for your new real estate career. We always joke about it and say it's everything you thought you would learn in real estate school, but they really kind of highlighted the legal elements, not the day-to-day lifestyle elements. So we are happy to have that in our office offered to you guys by some of our top producing agents. And hopefully you guys are learning a lot and gleaning a lot of great information from these agents as well. We'll also go over, there's 2 Facebook pages I'm going to highlight today that I think are very, very purposeful and great resources for you for communication and just helping to get plugged in. We're also going to go ahead and talk a little bit briefly here about registering your car. So one thing I will note is that obviously, for those of you who are not already aware, just because of how new you are, in around sometime in March, we're actually going to be moving office spaces, not terribly far, so nobody panic and wonder if it's going to be out of range for you. We're just going to be just down the road. So this particular piece here is only going to be relevant for you for a few more months. But of course, we still want to make sure that nobody has to have a heart attack and wonder if they're going to get towed. That's never fun. So if you guys are looking to get that vehicle registered because you plan on being here on a regular basis, all you have to do is actually click on the little hyperlink here, and it will take you to the preferred parking website. Once you've arrived at the preferred parking website, it will actually allow you to create some quick login information. And all you'll have to do is designate what building we're in. And you can kind of tell from the map here, we're in this funky elbow-shaped building. So we've got building 2 here in the drop-down menu. It'll also ask you to select Keller Williams as your place of employment. And then you can go ahead and specify some additional information in here. The great thing about this, though, guys, is it is not only free for you, but you guys can also register up to 3 separate vehicles under the same pass information. So if you ever have a vehicle in the shop and maybe you're taking roommate or spouse's car, maybe your kid's car, we want to make sure that you guys are thoroughly covered so you never have to worry about whether or not that car will be recognized. So go ahead and take the time to do this. There should be a spot on here where you guys can actually designate saying that you don't need a physical pass. It really is just there to make them aware that you guys will be coming into the office. So again, that kind of alleviates some of that stress just because there are designated parking zones. If they do give you a physical pass, no worries at all. We will just have to collect those back prior to moving. So just keep that in mind if you do receive a physical pass. The physical passes, when they are created, will be actually dropped off here in person at the office and they'll be left in your mail folder. The reason that I go down that kind of rabbit hole is because I was going to say Tim's face right now. Most people do not realize that they have mail folders. So as part of your onboarding process, Miss Sue at the front desk does create a file folder for you, and she will have it alphabetized in a filing cabinet system. It's in the room just to the right of her office space, and it's got a similar purple back wall. And once you're in that room, you'll be able to see those filing cabinets alphabetized by your last name. So basically, any mail that's ever sent to the office on your behalf can be found in that mail folder. And the reason for that is really because first and foremost, we know that South Carolina will send your license if you guys go on to become South Carolina licensed. They send it to the firm. So obviously, we wanted to make sure that you guys knew about that. We wanted it to be in a convenient spot so that you guys can also grab this at any point in time, even if we're not in the office. So any mail that's ever directed here on your behalf can be placed in your mail folder. The same goes for packages as well. When we receive any packages you may have directed to our office, those will also be left in the mail room. And Sue is very good about sending you guys a quick email just to let you know that a package has arrived so that hopefully you guys can come in and grab that at your leisure. She also will do the same thing if she notices any checks that are delivered on your behalf, not commission checks that will be handed straight to Lynn, but other checks, maybe it's just something from a client or, anything with referrals. Sometimes you'll find that stuff in your mail folder as well. So if she thinks it's something very specific and important, she'll send you a quick email just to let you know it's waiting for you. But that kind of summarizes both the parking pass and your mail folders. If you guys aren't sure where to find those, you can see Sue at the front desk and she'll gladly show you yours. Building 2. Yes, ma'am. And then, so as we scroll just a little bit further down, you'll arrive here to some actually, I skipped a button. Goodness, guys. It's a Friday. This is what's happening to my brain right now. So I'm going to minimize this. On the right-hand side here, sorry, guys, I'm under the basic training. If you guys select Learn More, this is going to take you to Scott Leroy Marketing's website. So Scott Leroy Marketing is who created all of your KW technology. So through them, you've now received your email address, your website, and all of that great information. But Scott Leroy's help extends well beyond just that initial tech setup. They're also here to assist you guys with troubleshooting and helping to establish a strong foundation for understanding your KW technology. So they can teach you things ahead of time, but they can also help you guys to troubleshoot if you experience any issues. And just because of where we arrive on this page, I'm going to touch on three quick things, although there's plenty to dive into on just their website alone. Because of where we've arrived on the page, for example, if you guys use the search bar here, one of the great things that Scott Leroy Marketing offers is QR code generation, and they do that for free. So if you guys have ever wanted to feature a QR code, I know that's very popular nowadays on marketing pieces, business cards, things of that nature. If you would like to see a QR code created for anything that you're offering, whether that's to your clients, to future clients, if it's an open house, you guys can create a QR code. All you have to do in that search box is just type QR. And one of the first things that will populate is a QR code generator. All you have to do is type in a few answers to some quick questions, mainly just connecting them with you and also the website that you're hoping to connect the QR code to. And then within the hour, I would say, I usually receive any of those QR codes back to me. So they're very timely about getting that back to you guys. In addition, they also offer some great resources for you. So the first thing that I also like to talk about on here is under the agent resources. It did used to be a drop-down menu, guys, so bear with me. There's one extra step now. When you click on agent resources, it is going to ask you for a market center number, and you'll see this number ad nauseum if you've not already caught on. Our market center number is 350, and you'll notice it's in our Wi-Fi, and it's probably in just about anything else that you'll see when you're first getting set up. So yes, the 350, no, that will not change. Yep, will always be Market Center 350. So once you've typed in that information, it'll allow you to log in. And it's going to load for me for a second here, but now you'll notice that the agent resources is a drop-down menu option. Since we've explained basically where we are, so they understand that we are partners with them. So if you scroll down through here, I always like to highlight the training calendar that Scott Leroy Marketing offers. The reason for that is that they obviously have a very thorough understanding of our technology here, whether that's the basics of command, the basics of DocuSign, or talking about higher level when it comes to Facebook ads and things like that. They do highlight some really great specific topics. So when you guys are actually looking at their training calendar, you'll notice that they offer from Monday through Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. They offer live through Zoom trainings. So you guys can check out their calendar. It'll show you right there what the actual topic will be. And all you have to do is click on it. So today, for example, they are running a DocuSign class. You would be able to jump right in on that Zoom link. So the reason I like to share this is obviously everyone's schedules look a little bit different because we are real estate agents. We have that flexibility. So for those of us who maybe have a really hard time getting to the office on Tuesday afternoons to catch any of the tech trainings that are offered in person by Jules and Leah, this would be a great opportunity for you guys to maybe get those same trainings, but at a time that works better for you. The other thing I like to mention with this as well is we also understand that when it comes to the topics that Jules and Leah touch on, they do every week, they do something on Tuesday. So sometimes they may be talking about DocuSign. For example, I know, what was it? Next week they are talking about, oh gosh, I just looked at it and I just blanked. So next week they will be talking about something specific. We'll call it DocuSign for the sake of this. If you guys realize, however, that maybe I just talked about DocuSign, I feel pretty good about that, but I really am trying to get more understanding of Facebook ads. I've got, a listing that I'm coming up with, and I want to make sure that I can post it to Facebook. But maybe Scott Leroy Marketing is talking about that in the next couple days. So that may be an opportunity for you guys to supplement your tech training with what Scott Leroy Marketing has to offer. So you guys are getting this information in a timely manner based off of when it works for you. So that's, again, just something else that Scott Leroy Marketing has to offer for you guys. In addition, the other thing I like to talk about while we're on this page is under this store drop-down menu. You're welcome. I wanted to make sure that wasn't a question. So under the store drop-down menu, if you guys actually just click the store option here, it will take you to agentstore.com. So one of the biggest questions that I feel I receive from brand new agents is, hey, do I get business cards through you, or is that something that I'm responsible for creating myself? Unfortunately, the answer is that is something that we will be deferring to you for. That is not something provided in your onboarding, but through our partnership with Scott Leroy Marketing, marketing and subsequently agent store, we can offer a really great price point for those. So as you guys are ready to start creating business cards and getting the word out about your real estate business, this may be a very, very great option for you. I won't go through all of it with you, but if you click into the business cards or name tags, they obviously offer both. You guys can check in. They will have pre-done templates actually. So it's very easy to plug in your information and get a quick design ready to roll. So when you guys are doing all of that, you'll see it'll actually ask you basically who you're with. So you'll say Keller Williams. It'll ask you again for which specific firm you're with within Keller Williams, and you'll say Ballantyne or 350. They both will come up in the drop down menu. So it's very easy to select. And then as you guys click into the template that you're liking the most of their selection, you'll just drop in your information to a few fields on the left hand side, and it's very, very easy. The design is then created on your behalf, and you can easily order through the website. So I know for me personally, I also ordered my business cards through Scott Leroy, and I was able to get them for $39 and I got 500 of them. So very, very competitive pricing. Again, if that's something of interest to you. I know some of us are naturally very creative or very excited about our specific branding that we're trying to unveil. So we may want to go through a slightly different route like Canva or Vistaprint, something that's a little bit more individualistic and stands out. However, if you're a plug and chug, I want something just out so I can go ahead and start advertising, this would be a great option for you. And as we're talking about this particular topic, I did want to also mention if you guys are provisional broker status, you do need to make sure that you are getting approval from our BIC associate, Tasha Viney, on your business card designs before you are printing them. The reason for that is because there are some stricter regulations for you guys in compliance to make sure that you're legally showing everything that's required. And more important, oh, you're fine. And more importantly, you're also keeping off anything that you are not permitted to have on there. So make sure that Tasha approves of your design. I'll show her contact information here in just a little bit. Tasha also is in the office 3 days a week, and she is just outside this door when she's here. She's in one of the offices to the right, right behind these high top tables. So it's very easy to stop by and ask her a quick question. Her door is always open. So that is something important to mention. We also do have advertising guidelines available on our KWB resources page. So I'll share those with you guys as well. So even if you are broker status, you guys can get comfortable and more familiar with what needs to be on there and what cannot be on there. So we'll go over all of that information shortly. But I will close out of that. Again, that was just three main things I'd like to point out on the Scott Leroy page. However, there's plenty more you guys can dive into at your leisure. But if you scroll down just a little bit more, what I tried to jump into way too early today was those Facebook pages. So the top two Facebook pages that you guys see listed here are going to be our most active Facebook pages. The first one is actually one that I share with you guys via email as part of your onboarding process. It's the email you would have received with some beautiful rainbow balloons at the bottom, so it's very easy to recognize. This Facebook link is an internal Facebook. It's a private group. It is just our agents and our leadership team. So this is a great way for you guys to get plugged into the 500 agents that we have in this office, because obviously not all 500 of us are trying to cram into this room at one time. So if you guys are looking to get connected with anybody or just ask general questions, maybe that's a great opportunity for you guys to do that. I'm sorry, I'm receiving a phone call and I just want to make sure it's not anything urgent. No, it's spam. So great. I love that. So the internal Facebook page is going to have other agents on it so that you guys can be communicating with several different agents, particularly maybe about open house opportunities. Several top producers will say, I need help hosting an open house. And that's a great way for you guys to jump in there and get your foot right in the door. There's also opportunity for you guys to ask, maybe you're not finding something fitting your buyer's criteria in MLS, and you just want to see if anybody knows of something coming soon. Anyone's got a listing that might be arriving to market soon. And then they'll be able to share more information about that with you there. You'll also see me on there regularly. I am constantly posting about what's coming into the office next, whether that's a training, an exciting special event, if it's just celebrating our agents' achievements, welcoming new agents. I am always on there. I promise you'll probably get annoyed by how much I'm on there. But that is a great page for you guys to join just to constantly be involved in what's happening in our market center. Just below, a similar structure, again, a private Facebook group. This is all of our agents and our vendors in our vendor program. So not every Keller Williams office has a vendor program. However, we do. So that's one of the special things about Keller Williams Valentine. All of the vendors in our program have been vetted by another KWB agent. So you know that you guys are getting great information, great services, great products, because they've been partnered with other agents in our office before. So if you guys have an interest in joining Facebook or that Facebook page, that's a great way for you guys to easily just search plumbers. Any plumbers that we have in our vendor program will populate right then and there. It's an easy way for you guys to get multiple quotes and find out who's available to do what in our community. And then in addition to that, they're also constantly on that page talking about new services or products that they're offering. Sometimes they're running promotions. So it's a great way for you guys to stay on top of any information they're sharing as well. And again, those are going to be the top 2 Facebook pages here. We scroll a little bit lower. Colorisms is a very fun sheet. It's actually, I won't click on it today. It's a PDF breakdown though. And it actually explains all the language at Keller Williams you'll hear. Our culture is so amazing, guys. It's very developed. And as part of that, sometimes we have some verbiage that you may not have heard outside of these doors. So if you are a little shy, which you do not need to be, you're always welcome to ask me these questions. But if you're maybe not so sure what a capper is, or maybe you want to have more conversations about what a 145 is, bless you. That was like super impressively silent. I really just kind of caught out of the corner of my eye, so I wanted to say it, but I was expecting something more out of that. But so if you guys maybe are wondering what's a 145, I've heard that brought up in Ignite. Want to make sure that I'm taking care of everything. Colorisms will break down all of that terminology into real world terms, so that way you guys have a thorough understanding of what specifically is being referenced. I know sometimes that's difficult, and my first 2 weeks here, there was definitely some terminology, and I was like, I have no idea what that is. So if you guys think that the colorism spreadsheet would help with that, it's an easy breakdown for you guys to read through. And of course, like I mentioned, you are welcome to come to us with questions. There's never any need to be embarrassed about asking a question. Little bit lower, I know, again, referring to our KW technology, one of the amazing things about Command is that it's built by KW. So that means that it's constantly updating, constantly improving, and they're always looking for feedback from you guys so that they can be unveiling the next big thing. But with that being said, since it is built by KW and for KW, if you've never been with a Keller Williams office before, most of us either a brand new agent or a transfer agent, you may have never have experienced KW Command, and that's absolutely understandable. We know that sometimes that can mean that technology is just that additional hurdle because it's just something you've never been exposed to before. With that being said, we have plenty of opportunities here at Keller Williams Valentine for you guys to get a great understanding of how to navigate that new technology. One of those resources actually here, it's answers.kw.com. Answers.kw.com, guys, is actually just going to walk you guys through in basically article format. If you search questions, and you can even specify the specific Keller Williams platform, if it's Command, if it's the intranet, you guys will be able to specify the platform you're looking at. You can search keywords, and then articles upon articles will populate for you guys to read through, including screenshots for a visual, so that you guys can get further explanation on how to do something. If you're looking to import contacts or anything like that, even starting small, there's plenty of information posted there. So I know sometimes different learning styles, reading through explanations can be a better fit for certain learning styles. If that matches yours, please go ahead and check out answers.kw.com anytime you guys have questions, especially if it's at 3 a.m. I can't reach Jules and Leah. What am I going to do? Answers.kw.com is available on demand. So very easy to check and see if you can figure something out through their articles. In addition, as I mentioned, KW is always looking for feedback. So there is a sister website to this called ideas.kw.com. And again, that's primarily just for your suggestions in regards to Command. Every time that they launch a new update, if you guys are saying, I love this new feature, I just wish it was available on this screen as well, they're looking for feedback just like that. They want to make sure that KW Command is as user-friendly as possible, whether I'm a brand new agent first now using a CRM, or I'm a transfer agent and I loved my previous portal. Let me give you some of my favorite features of that portal so that maybe that can be integrated in a Command. They are constantly looking for that feedback. I will give you guys full disclosure. This is going to KWRI directly. So if you don't see a cute email back from me saying, thank you so much, that's only because it did not go to me. It went to KWRI. But a little bit further, There's also access to Ignite materials, although it is embedded into our training calendar per Ignite session as well. So that's usually the easier way to access that rather than all this digging. We also have access to our training calendar here. So one of the things I will note as we're kind of rolling through is there's several ways on this website to pull to the same information. I'm going to do my best to show you guys my favorite ways to navigate, the most convenient and sometimes easiest ways, just so hopefully it stays top of mind for you and you don't have to worry about where was she when she found that one button. I'm going to try to make it easy. So we will bypass the training calendar here and we will get to it in just a little bit. And then at the very bottom here is how to book a conference room. The easiest way to do that is actually going to be in this drop down menu here, schedule a conference room. But when scheduling conference rooms, you'll notice that we actually have 6 different conference rooms on this floor. Each of them vary in the capacity that they hold, but they are all resources available for you guys to use as agents in our office for free. So if you guys are looking to utilize those, the only real things that we usually encourage or kind of put out there is that our conference rooms, we typically intend more for collaborative efforts. If you're meeting with a client, having consultations, having coaching conversations, anything of the sort, our conference rooms are absolutely available for your use. However, if you are looking more for just a quiet space to kind of sit down, head down and do my lead gen, the conference rooms may not be the best fit just because we are trying to keep them on rotation for those opportunities. If you guys are looking for that quiet space, anytime that the hub is not being used, anytime the training room is not being used, you're welcome to station yourselves here. We also have several vacant cubicles throughout the office that you're welcome to sit down at for a little while. If you actually continue down this hallway and take a right, there's some cubicles in the back corner here, and each of them actually has a small sign that says day desk in the corner of the cubicle. And those are great spaces for you guys to do exactly that and just kind of sit for a few hours, put your head down and focus on what's in front of you. I know myself, I get distracted really easily. If someone tapped me on the shoulder, I would talk all day. So if you guys are looking for that quiet space, there's some day desks in the back here that would be great. But as you guys are realizing, hey, I'm actually gearing up to meet with my first client, I really would love to have the conference room. It's very simple. You guys will hit that register button. It'll ask you to create a quick login. And then when you guys hit the book conference room, it will open up a spreadsheet. It'll share the conference room names at the top of the spreadsheet, as well as the capacity that they hold. So you'll know if it's a good fit for you. And down the actual Y axis, what you'll see is that we'll specify all the times as well. And you'll be able to see dragged and dropped information where people have booked each conference room. So it's very easy to identify any availability and put yourself right in there. We try to keep these conference rooms 2 hours per reservation just so they can be on rotation. So if you guys can do your best to adhere to that, we really would appreciate it. Although we do understand sometimes there are exceptions and maybe you need the room a little longer. You'll probably realize that it's not going to automatically let you book that on your own when you're exceeding that 2 hour time limit. So just keep me informed if there's ever anything I can do to help you guys. And that's across the board. If there's any issues you experience while booking a conference room, I am an admin on the page, so I can easily go in on the back end and help you guys out. So keep me aware. But that really is everything under that original new agent button, if you can believe it. I promise though, as we're rolling through, you'll see some information twice and we'll kind of be able to roll through at a slightly quicker pace. So what you'll see here is actually our staff directory. This highlights all of the wonderful people on our leadership team, what their roles are, as well as their contact information. So if any of you guys need to reach someone specific about any particular question or conversation, this is a great guide for you guys to reference. And when you scroll down here, the can't miss video of the week, ironically, has been up here for months, and it's not because Jules and Leah are behind, I promise. It's actually because this video has been of such value to our agents that we've kept it up there. This is actually Leah going over the ultimate overview of Command and DocuSign in 25 minutes. It's regarding how the two communicate with each other. So it's a really, really good foundation to have for understanding your KW technology, especially trying to learn ahead of that first transaction so that you have all that information already prepared, you're ready to roll, and a little bit less stress on your end. The great thing, obviously, about the fact that this is a video is it's available at your schedule, guys. So if you guys need to watch it at 9 p.m. one night before submitting an offer, you can do that. If you guys need to watch it again as you are doing something else, I've seen it before, but I want a quick refresher because I'm struggling on this one piece. You guys can easily pull up the video and watch it whenever it makes the most sense for you. And that's exactly why it lives right here on our homepage. You scroll a little bit further, you'll see our wonderful office training calendar. So, the fastest way to get to this rather than all that effort of scrolling would be to actually just click on the office calendar tab here. It will pull you right to where you want to go. But the biggest thing you'll probably notice when you're looking at our training calendar here is it looks like some events are getting chopped off. Can't quite see all of the information there. I'm not quite sure what that is trying to share. The really easy way to check all of that is just to click on each event and you'll be able to specifically see what it's referring to. However, Jules actually just created this great addition to our page and I'm so excited about it. You guys click here for a full calendar view. This will open a whole new tab. Similar to what we saw with Scott Leroy Marketing, but it actually opens up the calendar. You can read everything very clearly, very easily. And all you have to do is click on each individual event. You'll be able to see the course description. You'll be able to see any links that may be required to register or to jump in, especially if it's available through Zoom. Any of those links are added directly to the events here, but it gives you a great overview of what's going on in the office. So you guys can prepare ahead of time, start registering for those things that kind of excite you guys and get you really encouraged for that next step in your business. You guys can even navigate actually to future months. So you can see February already and kind of have an idea of what to expect in February. So I encourage you guys, please check our office training calendar. We would love to have you in person as often as possible because we think that there's a lot of value, obviously, in what we bring to you guys. But of course, the big thing is as independent contractors, we always say that nothing is really required of you. It is purely what you think would best benefit you and your business. So if that's coming to every single thing on the calendar, I cannot wait to see you there. If that means, this week is just a little cloudy for me. I'm going out of town. I just not going to work, but I will be able to jump online for that. You guys can easily do it that way. Or maybe you just plan to return the following week. But it's a great way for you guys to stay up to date on all of the new information. We talk about what's happening right here, right now in the market. We give you some timely updates, timely tips on what you can do. So, plenty of great information being brought to you guys every day here in Valentine for as often as you'd like to take advantage of it. We're going to scroll a little bit lower. And this just kind of highlights some of our recurring events here. We do have some recurring meetings. Our team meetings, our Tech Tuesdays, and our ALC meetings are specifically what's highlighted in this portion. Gives you just a brief description about what you can expect with each of those. So I know with those graduation checklists you guys have for Ignite, maybe you're wondering what is an ALC meeting. I'm not quite sure, but I saw it posted there. This gives you a little bit more information about what to expect with an ALC meeting and also when you can expect to see it next on the calendar. So it's very easy for you guys to jump into the next opportunity. We'll scroll a little bit lower. As you arrive down here, you will see our wonderful broker in charge, Miss Sabra. You will also see our wonderful BIC associate, Miss Tasha Viney. Both of these women are very, very, very knowledgeable and some of the most patient and kind people I've ever met in my life. So never feel shy if you have questions, guys. Of course, we are an open door policy. We are always here to help you guys as much as we can. But obviously, with that being said, what I will let you know is that Sabra is actually physically not in the office very often. And the reason for that is actually her mother just turned 100 years old over the summer. And so throughout COVID, she actually kind of moved back in with her mom just to help take care of her. So she is still taking care of her mom and just hanging out there. So just to keep germs and everything a little bit more on the down low, she is not always in the office, but Tasha Viney has stepped up in a very big way, and she is commonly seen in the office just outside of this door 3 days a week. So as you guys have questions about maybe your business card or just something that might be going awry and maybe one of your transactions, you want a little more clarity on that, you're welcome to stop by. They're happy to give you some additional information. You'll see her office hours are posted here and both emails are also displayed. And then at the very bottom, I know we're kind of far away from June, so maybe this is not on anyone's radar, but obviously there are some things that you guys are required to do in order to maintain your active license. So if you guys have questions about what that looks like, maybe you're wondering, did I meet all the CE requirements? I want to make sure all that's under wraps so I don't have to plan that later in the year. You guys can actually check each of these records and charts. They'll open up into a separate document in your on your browser so that you guys have a better idea of what you guys are responsible for doing. And it helps you to understand where you're at in the process. Make sure you've got all your ducks in a row. And if you scroll down here, you'll also see our wonderful ALC. So all of these amazing individuals are all top producers in our office, and they have designated a little bit of their additional time to serving different committees here at Valentine. So within Keller Williams, we sincerely value your opinions and your feedback as agents. We want to make sure that any decisions that we're making are reflective of what you guys feel is best servicing you. So with that being said, all of these wonderful top producers has stepped up to fulfill some of these committees. They are here to serve you guys in any way that they can. Again, please keep in mind that this is some of their additional time. They do also have businesses, but they are here to assist you guys. So they're here representing different committees just to make sure that Ballantyne is constantly doing something new and exciting and really, really being the best environment for you guys as agents. So we've got different committees this year. We've got the growth committee, which highlights your passive income and downline. So if you guys have interest in building a downline of passive income through profit share, they are here to help you guys with scripts, having those conversations, who you can be reaching out to. They want to help you guys build a successful downline. Our social and KW Cares Committee help to plan our exciting socials. They do fun raffles throughout the year as well so that we can raise money for KW Cares. And we also have our career development committee, and our career development committee is focusing specifically on the trainings and education offered in the market center. So if you guys are wondering, when's the next wealth class coming in, or maybe I really want to see a specific class on how to get myself set up with my taxes this year, now that you're an independent contractor, let the career development committee know because they are constantly on the lookout for what you guys want to see come into the office so that we can make sure our calendar is as full as ever and also with relevant information that you guys would like to hear. So make sure that you guys are reaching out to these individuals. You'll also see on our calendar that they all meet once a month. I believe all three committees are the first Tuesday of the month this year. So if you guys have any desire to hear their conversations, maybe volunteer some of your time to help out. I know that Growth Committee offers you guys to go to Superior with them so you guys can get in front of brand new agents and start building your downline that way. If you guys want to have more conversations about what that could look like, just reach out to these individuals. They are here to help you guys. A little bit lower down, we do have our productivity coaches, also known as business coaches. And so this is one of the two pillars of mentorship that are coming through to you guys in 2024. So this is something that we usually encourage for our brand new agents. We'll actually auto enroll you into this program. And the reason for that is that these individuals are here to assist you launch these new businesses. They've each got some successful careers on their backs, and they are here to help you guys launch yours as well. So your coach, your business coach, is making sure your business is set up for success. A lot of times it's very easy, I feel like, to say that we're going to do something. The hard part is actually staying true to that and making sure we're practicing those habits regularly. So not only are they here to help hold you accountable, which is one of the most invaluable things I think that they offer, but they're also meeting weekly with you to bring you new information and to push you guys a little bit more outside of your comfort zone so that you guys can reap the benefits of all the actions that you're putting to work. So your productivity coach is going to be a great, great resource for you guys. Again, they're meeting weekly. So as part of your onboarding process, Lynn tries to give you a little bit of additional time before sending you that email because she knows you guys have a lot on your plates coming through. So she tries to give you a little bit of breathing room, but Lynn will reach out to you guys via email to see what time of meeting works best for you on a continual basis. And from there, she'll go ahead and get you assigned to your business coach. So please keep that in mind. If you guys are realizing you've not seen that email come through just yet, go ahead and shoot me an email or shoot Lynn an email directly so we can help you guys out. And the second pillar of mentorship is your T group partner. So a T group partner is a transaction group partner. You'll also see them as just transaction partners, but their specialty is going to be the contracts and forms that you're working with. So if you guys do have questions and I want to learn ahead, I prefer that rather than stressing in the moment. These individuals meet weekly again, and they're just going over at length what those contracts and forms look like for any particular state that you're licensed in. So we've got a lot of North Carolina because that's the predominant license we see here in our office. We've got one South Carolina T group partner as well. So if you guys go on to become South Carolina licensed, know that we also have a South Carolina T group partner to highlight those specific contracts and forms. But they're going to go over a week by week. It's a 12-week curriculum that they highlight. And half of that is actually just going over that buyer side of the transaction. And then half of it is going over the seller side as well. So no matter who you're representing in any given situation, you'll have a very thorough understanding. They're actually helping to share those forms with you ahead of time. So hopefully throughout your time attending their meetings, you can create like a template basically for obviously totally normal transaction. Obviously, they're not all normal. But for a totally normal transaction, you guys can have templates that you can reference at any point in time. So maybe when that first transaction does come around, you can easily reference that template, know how to fill out that form, and then you can get it sent off so that you can get that offer approved. The other great thing is that they are here to help you guys with your questions. So when they're meeting on a weekly basis, you guys are welcome to bring any questions that you have to the table. In addition to that, I also consider them to be kind of your first reference or resource over Tasha or Sabra. The reason I say that is not because Tasha and Sabra will not obviously help you guys to answer your questions, but they do oversee an office of 500 agents, whereas your T group partner actually has maybe 40 or so agents in their T groups. So there's just a higher likelihood that you guys, now that you've built this relationship, may hear back from them on a very, very speedy basis. Of course, if they do not know the answer, they will absolutely direct you to the next level, which would be going to Tasha or Sabra. However, they are here to help you with those more administrative questions so that you can get a thorough understanding before filling out that first transaction worth of documents and contracts. And then what I will say as a sidebar here, if there's ever anything legally going awry in a transaction, go directly to Sabra. Don't worry about stopping and talking to your T group partner first. I would say take that straight to the broker in charge, because if there's anyone who could fix it, it is Sabra. If we scroll a little bit further down, you guys will see there's just some access to helpful resources and some frequently used sites, but I will not dilly-dally at the bottom there. You guys can access those at your convenience moving forward. But under the FAQ tab here, just a quick piece. If you're wondering who to direct a question to on the leadership team, these tiles may just kind of give you a general idea of what each of us do. So you'll see some of these questions that are kind of related to commission requests. So if you are wondering about how to fill out a commission request, if you hover over the tab, it'll say Lynn Davis is the one you should reach out to, and here's her email. So it just gives you guys an idea of what each of us are responsible for on the team, so that you can, of course, reach out to them directly rather than kind of spending any additional time trying to figure it out or sending something to the wrong person. And then, of course, if you are realizing your question is nowhere up there or even relatively in the same ballpark, shoot me an email, guys. I am happy to be your go-between and try to help connect the dots of who to reach out to about your specific question. But this will help to give you an overview and understanding of who you can reach out to about those questions if they come to you. All right. And then the next tab we're going to focus on here is this on-demand training tab. We'll bypass the About tab today because it's really just talking about who we are. Under the on-demand training tab, you'll notice that this tab is going to be password protected. So for those of you who are in person, this will be easy because it's going to look really similar to the password right behind my head, just a little bit different. And then if you're online, Miss Sadavia, I'm going to type this out for you just so it's easy to access in case you don't already have the information. So that's going to be the password for that page. So for you guys in person, it's going to be a capital B, lowercase a, M, C, 350. So it's the exact same password behind my head, just no exclamation point on the end there. And when you guys type that in, now you will have access to our on-demand training tab. The on-demand training tab is definitely one of my favorites to talk about because it works for everyone, in my opinion. So on the left-hand side here under on-demand training, if you select this on-demand button, what this will do is it will take you to our KW Valentine YouTube channel. And before everyone gets like super, super excited and is like, oh my God, I can just live off of this. The idea is actually still, we would love to have your live participation, whether that's through Zoom or in person. We do heavily encourage that just so you guys to have that opportunity to ask your questions. We want to make sure that you're not sitting back and not quite sure of what the answer would be in this particular circumstance. So if you guys are looking for any of that information, but because maybe you missed an opportunity, I couldn't make it to the last team meeting, 11's just not a good time for me. What you guys can do is you guys can see here, we do have created playlists and they do cover all of those recurring meetings we were discussing. So you'll see we've got Tech Tuesdays, we've got team meetings, we've got orientations, how to get paid with Carla Kettler. Lots of great information is present right here on this page. What I will tell you again is, it's just to recap, it's going to be those recurring meetings. Is not every training that's offered in the office. A lot of the trainings that we bring in, especially those special trainings, are actually offered exclusively in person. So if you guys are looking for anything you may have missed that you know was available through Zoom and it's on the calendar fairly often, there's a good chance it's ended up here. But you'll be able to see just by overviewing those playlists. There's nothing on here that's not in a specific playlist for what it is. But obviously, you guys may also notice, there might just not be a Tech Tuesday video from last week, and I was looking for it, and I'm not quite sure where it's at. Shoot me an email if that ever happens, because oftentimes sometimes I take a week just to get like a refresh of everything that just happened up here published to our YouTube channel. But the biggest thing actually is that YouTube has some fantastic AI. I love it and I hate it at the same time. So their fantastic AI will actually sift through your video. I'm sure many of you know this before you publish it, just to make sure there's no violations of their policies, any copyright issues. So they will kind of pre-watch your video just through their algorithms and then decide if it's okay to publish. So for some reason, they don't love every video I try to post, and they tell me that it violates a policy on occasion, which I'm confident it does not, but I tried to fight it, it didn't work. So in the event that you guys are looking for a specific video, maybe a Tech Tuesday in particular, and you're noticing it's just not posted here, shoot me an email, because oftentimes what happens if I cannot get it to post to this YouTube channel, I still have access to the recording, can still share it with you if you've missed anything, but I just might not be able to get it posted here publicly. So shoot me an email if you're ever looking for something specific that's not here. Happy to get that over to you. And then on the right-hand side here under Command on Demand, this is actually Scott Leroy Marketing's YouTube channel. So this is how you guys can be getting that tech information on a time that works for your schedule. So again, maybe it's 3 a.m. I know it's not the best time to be writing this offer, but I am, and here I am. I need some help. Scott Leroy Marketing's got plenty of information posted here. Some of them are quick little videos that are just tips in general, so they're only a few minutes long. Some of them are full-length trainings and classes that they offer. So you guys can get a great array of tech foundation and education through their site. Some of it is specific to maybe Facebook ads. Some of it is going to be highlighting DocuSign and Command. So this way you guys can get all of that at a time that works for your schedule, especially for those of us who have maybe kiddos or dual career, anything like that. Sometimes it can make it tricky trying to get to those afternoon classes. Even live through Zoom is difficult. In that event, we want you to, of course, not feel helpless. We want you to still have that information. So try Scott Leroy Marketing's YouTube channel, because there's plenty of great content on here, straight from the sources that create your technology for you, and it's accessible to you at any time, guys. So I'll close out of that. And just at the bottom here, you'll see there's some additional information about Ignite, although I'm pretty sure we are all feel pretty comfortable in what Ignite offers. So I'm going to jump to the next screen here. Before I click on it, however, just hovering over that Office Resources tab, you'll see here in the drop-down menu, that first thing posted is going to be the advertising guidelines, which we referenced earlier, making sure that everything you're promoting, whether that's a flyer to pass out in a neighborhood, my business card, making sure that that information is in compliance. We don't want anyone going to real estate jail, and I sure do not want it to be because of me. So if you guys would just do me the favor of looking over that document, making sure you understand what you should have on your marketing pieces versus what you should not, that will go a long way. With any questions specifically you may have, please see Tasha. She's a great resource. And then in addition to that, another important piece here is the do not call list. I think a lot of us are at least somewhat familiar with what the do not call list is at this point. However, we might not realize that we don't have access to it immediately. So if you need access to those individuals because you are trying to avoid those hefty fines when cold calling, I completely understand. If you click on the do not call list in this drop-down menu, there will be step-by-step instructions on how you guys can register to access that list, so you know exactly who to avoid calling at any point in time. But now if we were to click on the tab, we'll go into the Office Resources. You'll see this is also a password protected tab. It's going to be the same password as the previous page. And again, that's the password right behind my head here, but no exclamation point behind it. And once you guys are in the Office Resources page, on the left-hand side, because I believe everyone in this room is North Carolina licensed, so I'll touch on that one. So on the left-hand side here under Get Forms, if you guys select that, and I'm going to make it the cute grid view instead of the list view. This is going to show you guys, this is a Google Drive folder that Sabra built up. It's all these forms that are specific to our firm that she felt that people were constantly asking for. So she wanted to make it more convenient for you guys to find them. So if you guys are looking for a W-9 for our office, if you're looking for an inter-office referral agreement, maybe just a general referral agreement, anything that regards our disclosures of partnerships with title companies, or maybe we're looking for a working with real estate agent brochure, anything like that, guys, you will find it right here in this Google Drive folder. Again, I'm going to emphasize this is going to be forms and documents specific to our firm because state contracts and forms are not going to live in this Google Drive folder. Those should be available to you through DocuSign or through Zip Forms, which is an avenue within Canopy Matrix. So you guys can find them there as well. But if you're looking for specific KWB forms for North Carolina, this is where you can find all of that information. There's even some great information as well, like buyer walk-in to final walkthrough, shows you all the things that you guys should be paying attention to and responsible for. So it just helps to break it down for you guys a little bit better, especially to make those first few transactions that much less daunting. So anything when it comes to the state contracts and forms, those will be in DocuSign. These are going to be more highlighting like firm exclusive agreements, anything like our heritage title partnership. We also have some septic and sewer is something that Sabra is very adamant on having to cover our bases. So if you guys need to access that septic and sewer, that's probably one of the ones that I think seems like it would be a state or contract, a state form or contract. That's going to live in this particular folder. What I always really give as a general thumb is depending on where you start, whether I'm in my DocuSign or I'm in this folder, anything you're not finding in it is more than likely in the other. So go ahead and kind of have both open when you're trying to find everything at once, and you'll be able to piece it all together. But this is where you can find all those KWB specific forms. I'm going to close out of that folder. If any of us go on to become South Carolina licensed, the same forms exist for South Carolina on the right-hand side. And then in the middle here is get checklist. So again, I know those first few transactions, guys, may feel a little scary. They're not quite muscle memory just yet. And I want to make sure I'm doing everything I'm responsible for. Maybe it's that first time buyer and I want to make sure I've just covered everything. These are all lists that Sabra actually created herself, which is even more impressive. And they cover literally from start to finish everything that you are responsible for in a given transaction. So when those first few transactions are happening and I want to make sure all my ducks are in a row, reference these checklists, guys, because they are here to help you, whether I'm just glancing at it digitally or I print out a copy and carry it with me for the first few days. Either is absolutely fine. If it helps you, we are happy to provide it for you. So you'll see here, this is going to be a North Carolina buyer sale, but you'll notice that there's South Carolina forms, there are North Carolina forms, and it goes on both sides of each transaction. So please reference these as often as you'd like. Sabra created them with the intention of your use, so utilize them. They are here to help. We're going to scroll just a little bit further. So this is actually, we do partner with two real estate education sources, the CE Shop and Superior, and through them, we do have access to some incredible discounts. I will touch on that a little bit later, but we are going to actually just quickly click on the CE Shop website here. What I want to touch base with you guys on specifically is two key features, kind of like we did with Scott Leroy Marketing. There's so much we could dissect here, but I'm just going to talk about two specific things. The first is that if you guys are ready to go get your South Carolina license, if that is in your business plan, the CE Shop offers something very unique. I'm not sure how many of you have done self-paced learning before, but if you've ever thought, I wonder if that would work for me, feel like it would just be so much more convenient, the CE Shop offers a self-paced free trial. So you guys can try self-paced learning for 1 week. And then if you hated it and the score was terrible and you're like, yep, that just secured my whole idea that I need to go to Superior and do something in person, you guys can cancel right then and there. There is no skin in the game, no cost associated for you. But if you loved it and you had a lot of success and you want to go ahead and sign up, you can sign up right then and there. And it'll ask you for credit card information. You can get that all squared away. So that's something unique to the CE Shop that I don't think is offered at a lot of other sources, which is why I like to share it. And you guys are going to think I'm crazy because now we have to scroll all the way to the bottom in the very fine print because this used to be at the top, I promise. It wasn't that weird before. But when you go to the Agent Essentials, under Agent Essentials, if you see the hot topics, this is really what I like to share. I know social media is a very big component in marketing nowadays. So if you guys are looking for a way to keep your page active, but I don't have any business coming my way right now, what's something easy I could post just to stay in front of people, but also diversify what I'm sharing? The CE Shop's Hot Topics is a library of ebooks, blogs, podcasts, and videos. It's as easy as for you guys to go ahead and learn and glean something from them as it is for you to share it to your social media. Just drag and drop the link into a Facebook post, and then now you've got that published on your page. People who are just looking for general real estate content, friends of yours, anything like that, they can see those posts, they can click on them, learn something from them, and it's just another tool for you guys to add to your belt that may help somebody else to see your page and use you guys as an agent. So utilize the hot topic section in the CE shop, guys. There's so much great information. Some of it is more prediction based or informative pieces. Some of it is going to be just funny. So if maybe the market is not doing really great right now and you want something lighthearted to share, they have funny content on here as well, just to make everyone laugh. But I know that diversifying your marketing on social media is key to getting new traffic to your page. So that's a really great element for you guys to incorporate. We also have access to our Valentine floor plan. We're going to be moving in a couple months, so I don't know how much you guys really are going to reference that, but please let me know, of course, if you need it, or if you guys need to just have a little direction of where to find something. And at the very bottom here, maybe you are going to get that South Carolina license and you realize on that application it's asking you for a firm license number for the state and you don't have that handy. You can find important numbers like that here at the very bottom. So I've highlighted that specific number just because that was the circumstance I provided. But there are also access to our MLS ID number. We also have our federal tax ID for referrals, things like that, guys. So any of that information that you realize, I don't normally get asked for this, but it is the first time I'm seeing it. This is where you can find a lot of that content. Of course, you're welcome to ask T Group partners, Tasha, myself, if you cannot relocate this information. And then we'll jump over just a few couple additional things here, guys. So under tech resources, Marty Miller for Teams, if you're a fan of chunking down content so it's not as overwhelming, Marty Miller for Teams is actually a 66-day challenge of YouTube videos. And each day there's like a 10-minute or less video, and it's explaining how you guys can build up slowly your marketing profile. So that way you guys have it piece by piece. It's not spending several frustrating evenings on the content, but that way you guys can have a completed marketing profile that looks super impressive to clients and future business. And it's just through YouTube, 66 days, so 66 separate videos, and you'll have a completed marketing profile. The other thing I like to share about is Pivot Shift Ahead, a gentleman named James Shaw, based out of Florida, very high up in the KW education world. He actually has successfully navigated shifting markets before. So the reason I talk about that is I know our market's doing some funny things these days and has been for a little while now. So if you guys are wondering how you can best navigate shifting markets, Pivot Shift Ahead is a great group to join. It's a private Facebook group. All you have to do is request to join. He'll see you with Keller Williams. He'll accept you on the page, but it's a whole network of other KW agents that are all working together to navigate a shifting market. Some of them are based out of Charlotte. Some of them are in Florida. Some of them might be in the West Coast, but it's a quick and easy call. He actually meets, it's 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Monday through Friday. And he sits there and he talks about different tactics to implement into your business to successfully navigate a shifting market. Sometimes too, he will actually highlight other agents who may be having a lot of success with maybe a golden letter or anything like that. So it's a really great opportunity for you guys to gain inspiration from others as well into what you might want to employ in your own businesses. The other great thing about this is I know it always sounds terrible, but rip off and duplicate is a really good thing in the real estate world. If somebody else is doing something successful and you want a little piece of that or try it out in your business, that is not a bad thing to ask for. A lot of times people in this group will share their very own scripts. So it's a really, really easy way for you guys to not only gain inspiration, but literally maybe even wording of what to say when talking to different clients, sending golden letters. So it's a great way for you guys just to get more information of great ideas for your business. And under the helpful links, I'm going to touch about like couple quick things. So ALC meeting minutes, if you guys ever miss a giant ALC meeting where they all get together to have big conversations about what to do next in Valentine, if you want to reference their minutes, you can see them there in a Google Drive folder. Prayer request form is really just a talking point for me, guys, and that's just to emphasize that we very sincerely consider you to be our family. So if there's ever anything going on in your lives, please let us know so that at the very least we can be praying on your behalf, but we would love to know how we can help support you guys through anything you may go through, whether that's just knowing, hey, I'm going to go give so-and-so a hug in the hall. I saw them in the elevator. I'm going to give them a hug now. anything like that, we want to be aware so that we can best support you guys through anything that you may be going through. So keep us in mind. We do consider you family, and we hope you consider us family as well. We're here to help you guys. Just below there is KW Perks. KW Perks, welcome to independent contracting, guys. You don't have insurance through employers anymore. It's so exciting. So if you guys are ready to have those conversations or glance at maybe some new insurance policies, KW Perks was launched last year. On average, I know our agents are saving over 10%, but it allows you to search marketplace. We've partnered with Capstone Financial, and you guys can find maybe a policy that works better for you and your families. The big thing with that is just, even if you have insurance right now, it can't hurt to look. You might be able to just see if there's something better out there for you. So check out KW Perks if you guys are wondering about insurance. Just below there, this one I will click on is going to be our discount codes for real estate education. This will actually take you over to this particular page. So as I mentioned, we partner with CE Shop. Those discounts fluctuate. They can be anywhere from 20 to 50% given the any given week. Anytime there's a special sale going on, a one day only, I will post it to our private Facebook page, just more incentive for you guys to join. I will post it to our private Facebook page at 8 a.m. that morning so that you guys can utilize that code all day long for anything you may need. Superior School of Real Estate, we also partner with, but that's a long-standing 30% off. The only thing with Superior is that there's separate links for pre-licensing versus post-licensing versus CE. So just make sure you're clicking on the right link. But not only are these available for you guys for your own education purposes, but you can share these with others. So if you've got a friend, a cousin, somebody, maybe a neighbor that's considering real estate, it's a really, really great way for you guys to just send a little love their way, get them a discount on their pre-licensing, get them a discount on their post-licensing. It's also a great tool for you guys if you're looking to build some profit share. If you want people to add you to, if you want people to have you listed as a sponsor and add people to your downline, it's a great point to just share that. People love discounts. I love discounts. People in general love discounts. It's a really, really great way for you guys to send some love to somebody, and then hopefully that they will also return that love right back. So they do. Yes, they do. See, discount girl. I love it. Okay. So yes, please utilize these guys. They are for you and they are for you to share. So don't feel like if you're sharing it with somebody but you're not sure if they're going to join KW Valentine, that's okay. They do not have to commit to our firm in order to use that information. So feel free to share it however you'd like to. It's here to share. I will not click on it today, but the strategic vendor partners is going to open up a spreadsheet here, guys. It's going to highlight all those same vendor partners that we talked about. The great thing about it is it organizes them by the industry that they're in. So it's super easy to see all of our home inspectors in one spot. You can easily pull their information, contact them so that hopefully they can take a look at your particular property. The other thing you'll notice is that there's going to be a couple categories that might look a little bit lighter. Maybe we don't have a lot of garage door companies, maybe not a lot of landscapers. That doesn't mean that we don't like them. That actually just means that we don't have a lot in our program that have been vetted by other agents. So now that you guys are part of KW Valentine, if you have a landscaper that does your yard every week and you love them, tell us about them. We want to know who these individuals are because this is a mutually beneficial opportunity. They get to get in front of 500 agents. That's 500 new leads for them to pursue in terms of business. It's also a great way for you guys to, again, thank them for what they've done for you, but also offer them something to help build their business. So if you guys are interested in encouraging anyone to join our vendor program or inviting them to do so, it's as simple as just connecting them via email to PJ Kennedy. And PJ's business cards are up at the front desk if you guys don't already have his contact information, but I know several of our Ignite students have already met PJ. So his information is also at the front desk. Just connect the two via email and he'll do all the heavy lifting of having the conversations about what our vendor program entails. All you have to do is make that connection. Think Like a CEO podcast, just briefly, is Gary Keller and Jay Papazan. They are together on this podcast talking about everything entrepreneurial mindset and how to set up your businesses, guys. You are hearing from the pros of the pros. So if you guys like podcasts and you want to make sure that you're setting your business up for success, that is one I would encourage you to do. He does a whole season just on setting up your finances. So there's so much great information on that podcast. Also, similar to the hot topics we talked about on CE Shop, Outfront Magazine, if you guys are looking for kind of that rip off and duplicate cheat sheet for social media, Outfront Magazine publishes something every single month, shows you what you can post every single day. So if you guys don't know what to do because it's a rainy and nasty Tuesday and I don't have business coming my way, but I just shared something from CE Shop yesterday, what do I do? Outfront Magazine will literally give you an idea of what you can add to your social media just so you can have an active page that's staying in front of people and getting you new traffic every day. So use Outfront Magazine, guys. It's a tool for you. The last thing I share on this website is the I Need Tech Help button, which I think is low key everyone's favorite part. If you click on the I Need Tech Help button, it'll take you directly to Jules and Leah's calendar. Woo! So if you guys have questions about technology, if I just want to know what's the first 3 things that I should be working on just to get on top of my technology now that I'm a brand new agent, they'll share that with you. If you guys are looking for, okay, I actually have a little bit more like question based. I'm wondering how to do this specific thing in command. They can share that with you. If you guys are at a different stage in the game and you're actually growing as a business, and maybe I hate social media, but man, it's working for my business. You guys can ask Jules and Leah. They'll have conversations with you. They offer concierge marketing services, so they can do your social media for you. So if that's something, maybe again, it's working for my business, but I personally hate spending time on it, they can have conversations with you about what they can offer your business to take the load off of you specifically. So they're here to help you with that, guys. If you click on their calendar, it'll allow you to book a 30-minute appointment, and you can specify whether you want in person or Zoom. You can say specifically what you'd like to discuss with them so they can prepare ahead of time for the appointment. But you guys can then also, like I said, go from the basics of your technology to help me specifically do this to, hey, what would it look like for me and cost wise for me to have you do this for me? They do it all. They're great. And they also both, I forgot to mention earlier, have backgrounds with Scott Leroy Marketing. So again, you guys are getting some of the best in the business to understanding your KW technology. And this 30-minute appointment is free for you guys to book, and it's a very simple process. So I encourage you to meet with them. They're wonderful. I'm sure several of you met Leah this morning. She's great, and they have plenty of amazing information to share with you. So that covers pretty much everything I talk about on KWB resources. Before we jump to the next thing, there's one more thing I like to share since we're all together in this room. We realized it was not really being shared at any other point, and we want to make sure that you guys know how to do an email blast to all of the agents in our office. The communications through the Facebook page are awesome, but it's also really helpful if you guys could do very minimal effort, but send something to everybody all at once, right? So I like to share with you guys, it's not even 5 minutes of content, how to do that, but it is a separate website. So before we jump over to that, does anybody have a question for me based off of what we've already covered that maybe did not get answered yet? I'm going to open this chat right here so I can see if Sadavia's got any questions for me. All right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you can, I would recommend always ask other agents just because I'm not an agent, so I can't speak personal experience into things. However, what I have found is there are several top producers, especially the ones that will lead Ignite, that will tell you the name tag is one of the best things you can do because it's like $10 maybe or so. You order the name tag and you wear it. You might think you look goofy, but you wear it into the store and someone's going to see that you're wearing a name tag and it's going to say Keller Williams. And that might just be all it takes for them to have a conversation with you. So it's a really, really great way for somebody to immediately see, oh my gosh, that's a real estate agent. You know, what's the market doing? That's their favorite question, by the way. If you've not gotten that yet, they will ask you that question and you'll probably get annoyed by how often you get that question. But the name tag is great because it immediately gives you that credibility because they can see you are a licensed real estate agent. And it also specifies where you're at as a firm. So somebody can be like, oh my God, Keller Williams is one of my favorites. I've always had great conversations with KW agents. Is there anything, that's going on in the market I should know about? And then again, it's just an opportunity for you guys to be constantly advertising yourself and marketing your business while you're walking around. So it just an additional touch of marketing without any additional effort on your part. So I've heard great things about people who've worn their name tags to grocery stores. They say I get stopped all the time in the grocery store by different people, and then I get their contact information. I add them to my database. I throw them on a smart plan and there they go. I'm not exerting any effort myself, but I'm staying in front of them. And when they're ready to sell, I know they're going to come to me. So it's another touch for you to have the opportunity to connect with people. It's not at all a requirement for you. If you think that that's something that would work well for you, though, I would encourage you to get one. Again, does not have to be through Agent Store. You could find something maybe on Etsy that's really beautiful and very unique to you because maybe that'll stand out on its own. But What I would also say is I know that obviously the patents are who encouraged you to join KW. Ask the patents if that's what they did when they started out, because I want to say that I do think they have name tags. So I was going to say, I was like, I feel like I see them. So they would be another great person to talk to just based off their personal experiences and the value that that's brought to their business. So if you wanted to hear it straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak, and get their specific feedback on it, that would be a great person to ask. And then just continue to ask other agents as you run into them in the office if you're kind of debating whether or not you want to get one. But I never think it's something that can hurt. At the worst case scenario, you may have spent $15, $20 at most on something that just stays in a drawer most of the time. So it can't be super painful, but of course, if you are diligent and wearing it constantly, it can really help to drive some additional business your way. So I would encourage anybody to get one, but I never blame anybody for asking an agent versus an admin. So please feel free to ask Terry and David about it because I'm sure they'd be happy to share. Any other questions? Yep, Superior. Oh, the agent store? Yep, the stop that we're talking about. So if you guys go to Scott Leroy Marketing's website, I would say you can dig through the page, but honestly, if you just Google Scott Leroy Marketing, it'll take you straight to their website, and it's going to be at the top of the tabs. It's just going to say store. If you just click on store, it'll bring you right to where you want to go, and then it'll ask you within that tab what firm you're with and then what specific market center you're with, and that's how you can get to generate those new templates for you. Any other questions? Okay. Well, that feels pretty good. I feel like that was a success then. So I'm gonna jump over just briefly to this next website, guys. And this is gonna be through Keller Williams specifically. It's called mykw.kw.com. I do promise this will only take a couple extra minutes, but it's mykw.kw.com. And you'll see as soon as you get to that page, it's asking you to log in. The credentials you'll use on this page, guys, are the exact same credentials that we would have created when we met that allow you to get into Command. So I'm going to go ahead and log in as myself here. But again, it's just going to be your Command credentials. If you cannot access those or not sure where to find them, pull up that Scott Leroy marketing email that was sent to you, and they're going to be in that email. But once you guys have logged into the website, you'll see your picture up at the top left. You'll know, okay, I've logged in, we're good. So the real reason that I pull you here, guys, like I said, is to show you how to do an email blast. It's as simple as you'll see at the very bottom, we've got 6 little hyperlinks here. Click on under quick links, you're going to click on the MC350 intranet, which is the bottom left. If you click on that, you'll see similar to how the CE shop posted their hot topics, there's a quick library here that shows you pretty much any posts that have been done in the past several days. But if you guys are looking to create your own post, it's as simple as hitting this add a post button in red. When it opens up here, it'll ask you to designate what kind of post you're looking to do. That top market center post will be grayed out. That's only available to me because I'm on leadership. You guys will more than likely end up doing an associate post. So you guys can click on associate post. And then it'll ask you to designate a channel. This does not change the visibility of your message unless somebody was filtering by a specific channel. So this just gives you an idea of like how you can kind of filter it based off of what you're talking about. Agent announcement is going to be the most general category. So if it's not about an open house and it's not a have or want or need, agent announcement is more than likely what you'll use. But you click on that. And so once you guys are in here, you'll see under post title, you guys will have 100 characters that you can type into that post title. And that's what will come through as the subject line of your email. Then it'll ask you here if there's a URL that you'd like to share, and you can include that. Same with any PDF or JPEG files. You can add one of those as well to the post if it's necessary. Again, not a requirement. The post blurb is going to be a required portion of information. You have 190 characters to type here, guys. That will come through as the body of your email. So I know that 190 characters is not a lot, and sometimes maybe we have a little more information to share. I know it happens to me every time I post something. So what I usually recommend for you guys, if there's additional information you need to share, find a way to squeeze in this last line that just says see full post and make that the last sentence of your little blurb right there. And then if you hit the add full message button, you guys can type freely as much as you need to. But essentially what's going to happen is when the person receiving your email is going to get it, that post title is the subject line, your post blurb is that body of the email. And then they'll see a blue button that says view full post. And if they click on that, it will allow them to see everything in here as well. But this would not automatically come through. So what I always encourage you guys to do is if you have additional information to share, make sure that you reference it in your post blurb so people know that if they need additional info or they're interested in what you have to share, they know to click on that blue button that shows. Once you guys are happy with everything that you've included, you guys can very easily just hit that publish post button and you will not necessarily see it delivered to your own email, but over the next several minutes, it will be dropped to everybody's inbox in our distribution list, which is our 500 agents and our market center leadership. So it's that simple. Very minimal effort for you guys, but it will get blasted out to everybody in the office. So if maybe your sellers are looking to unload their washer or dryer, they don't want to take them with them, but the buyer is also not going to take them either. That's an easy way for you guys to share that. If you're looking, I know some people are looking for boxes. They like to do that extra step of helping people move. If that's the case, you guys can do a post saying, hey, anybody got boxes? Please bring them by me, this day, this time. Super easy for you guys to get your information out to everybody all at once. It'll live in their inbox so they can reference it. And it'll also stay posted in that library that we first opened up until the point of basically too many posts that push it out of the way. But even still, if your post is not visibly displaying here, somebody or yourself can go in and hit the search, type in the keywords they remember from that post title, and it generates that right away. So it's that easy, guys, just to get a blast out to over 500 people all at once with very minimal exertion on your part, which I think is huge. So I wanted to make sure you guys had that understanding of how to do that. And that is all that takes. We're done. That was so it's actually mykw.kw.com. So it's a separate site. It's going to be, like I said, mykw.kw.com. And when you've logged in using your KW command credentials, at the very, very bottom right, you'll see quick links and you'll just click on the one that says MC350 intranet. And that will allow you in here to go ahead and do your own post, but also to search through anything you may have seen come through to your email as well. Maybe somebody asked for a host for their open house coming up and you're interested. It's an easy way for you guys to pull up that original post so that you can contact the agent and hopefully get that opportunity. But that's really everything. I promised it was not going to be more than 5 minutes. So I appreciate you guys sitting through that additional piece. I know that we went over a few minutes today because of that. So thank you for your patience and your time. I promise you can go enjoy your weekends now, unless there are any additional questions on this. You're welcome. Good. I'm glad. I'm always glad to help you guys. I know that there's so many questions. I think when you first get acclimated, you're not sure where to go for a lot of it. Hopefully, KW Resources now stands out as a great platform for you guys to look for a lot of that information. My biggest recommendation is go home, guys, and over the next several days, maybe a week, take some time, go back to KWB Resources, see if you can follow through what we may have done, making sure you remembered where everything is. If you have any questions because maybe you forgot anything or you're not seeing something, just send me an email or give me a phone call. I'm happy to walk you through it again, guys. And I will say that anybody in Ignite who's got that graduation checklist, I'm happy to sign off real quick for you. But if there is anything else I can do for you guys, I will obviously be around. But if not, thank you all so much for being here. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Stay warm. It's supposed to be super cold. Of course. I'm going to go ahead and close out this Zoom here. So, have a great weekend. Thank you so much for your time. And I'll close.